Welcome back to the channel, my fellow Salem addicts. Grab your coffee, or maybe something stronger if you're a DiMera, because we have massive sneak peek photos for Friday, July 31st, and my jaw is completely on the floor. Are you guys ready for this? Because it is officially go time for Kristen and Lexie's insane plan to leave Salem, and in true classic Days of Our Lives fashion, absolutely nothing goes according to plan. We all knew this secret swap was a ticking time bomb. Lexie is dying. Kristen is on the run. They thought they could just magically switch places so Lexie could pass away in peace on DiMera Island while Kristen escapes justice. But here's the kicker. E.J. DiMera is not about to let his sister just walk away. Let's break down these explosive photos from the DiMera mansion. We see Kristen having what looks like a genuinely honest moment with E.J., and you won't believe what happens next. E.J. actually hands Kristen a drink. Now, let's be real for a second. When has a DiMera ever handed someone a drink without it being laced with something? Never. Stefano used to do this all the time. He would pour a glass of expensive scotch, look you dead in the eye, and the next thing you know, you're waking up in a cage in Meliswen. I strongly believe E.J. is drugging her right here, or at least setting her up to let her guard down. E.J. is fully, completely transforming into Stefano right before our eyes. There is a photo of E.J. standing alone, staring up at Stefano's portrait. He is literally having a conversation with his dead father, trying to justify his monstrous actions. He knows that taking out his own sister is a massive line to cross, but he is rationalizing it to protect Johnny and Sydney. I actually love this dark era for EJ. Dan Fire Regal is killing it, but it's also terrifying. EJ is embracing the dark side, and nobody is safe. And that brings us to the absolute craziest part of the preview. Kristen gets drugged in Salem Park by a mystery man in a leather jacket. He shoves a gag in her mouth and drags her all the way to the Salem airfield. We see her tied up outside a shipping container and then locked inside, looking absolutely terrified. The mystery man just walks away. Amazing. Can you believe it? Kristen DiMera, the ultimate kidnapper, is finally getting a taste of her own medicine. A lot of fans think this is just a random henchman, but I actually think this is the exact same masked man who kidnapped Gwen Rizczech. Think about the lore here. Kristen kidnapped Sarah Horton and dumped her on a DiMera island. Gwen helped keep that secret. Now, both Kristen and Gwen are being snatched up by masked men. That is pure, unadulterated soap karma, and I am here for it. Kristen manages to get her gag off in the container, but she is completely trapped. While Kristen is fighting for her life in a metal box, we have to talk about Lexie. Grab your tissues, you guys, because this is gut-wrenching. Abe and Theo surprise Lexie with a beautiful necklace. Theo puts it around her neck, and the look of sheer devastation on Lexie's face is enough to break your heart. She is crying when she gets a moment alone, touching the necklace. Why? Because she knows this is the end. She is saying a permanent goodbye to her legacy super couple romance with Abe. She is looking at her son and her husband, knowing she is about to disappear to a remote island to die alone. It is a brilliant, tragic callback to her original brain tumor storyline. Nikki Crawford is delivering an Emmy-worthy performance here. But tragedy strikes at the airfield. Lexie arrives to make the swap with Kristen, but Kristen is locked in a box. Lexie is clearly struggling physically. The Rizczech serum is failing her body. The final photo shows Lexie lying completely unconscious on the cold ground of the airfield. Does she get to Kristen before she passes out? I honestly don't think so. I predict Lexie is going to slip into a coma right there on the tarmac, and Abe is going to find her, completely blowing the lid off this entire secret. The fallout is going to be nuclear. Meanwhile, back at the DiMera mansion, things are getting physical. Rita sneaks out of the DiMera tunnels. Yes, the iconic tunnels are back in play to talk to EJ. But this is not a friendly chat. EJ is shown recovering from a slap across the face. Did Rita slap her boss? That's crazy. Rita has been EJ's loyal executive assistant, covering up his corporate crimes and drug scandals. But even a loyal henchwoman has her limits. I think Rita just found out what EJ did to Kristen, or maybe she realizes EJ is about to let Lexie die on that tarmac and she snaps. She looks furious with him. EJ is alienating every single person in his corner, and it is going to cost him everything. Let's pivot to the Horton Town Square, because my heart is breaking for Paulina Price. Abe spots Theo and Paulina talking, and Paulina is holding baby Trey. But the second Abe walks up, the tension is unbearable. Paulina literally takes the baby and exits the situation. I am fiercely defending Paulina right now. She made the ultimate sacrifice to step aside so Abe could spend Lexie's final days with her. But seeing Abe play happy family with his resurrected ex-wife is tearing her apart. Abe is completely oblivious to the depth of Paulina's pain. He is so wrapped up in the miracle of Lexie being alive that he is neglecting the woman who held him together when he was at his lowest. It's a beautifully messy dynamic. And we cannot ignore the ongoing desperate search for Gwen. Leo Stark is running around Salem like a chicken with its head cut off, and he runs into Javi and Gus in the square. Leo's annoying them, as usual, but you have to feel for the guy. His best friend is missing, and he is terrified. Javi and Gus manage to escape Leo's chaotic energy and head to Small Bar, where they share a really sweet kiss. I love seeing Javi get a moment of happiness amidst all this darkness, especially after Leo tried to manipulate him earlier this month. Good for Javi for setting boundaries. But Leo isn't giving up. The preview shows Chad DiMera and Ray Fernandez having a very intense conversation at the Brady pub. We know Leo is dragging Chad into this investigation. And honestly, it makes perfect sense. Gwen is Chad's ex. She is Jack's daughter, and she is tied to the DiMeras. If EJ's henchman took Kristen and a masked man took Gwen, all roads lead straight back to the DiMera enterprise. Chad is going to have to confront his brother, and Rafe is going to have to navigate the ISA, the Salem PD, and his own family drama to solve this. Salem is an absolute powder keg right now, and Friday's episode is going to light the match. Between Kristen suffocating in a shipping container, Lexie collapsing on the runway, EJ talking to paintings, and Paulina suffering in silence, we are in for a legendary hour of television. What do you guys think? Is Lexie going to die before anyone finds her? Will Kristen escape the container? Drop your wildest theories in the comments below, because I need to talk about this. Stay tuned, stay soapy, and I will see you in the next update.